I'm Katie Pfeiffer, Senior Director of Programs.
And I'm Dylan Pine, the Senior Director of Development here at Volunteer New York.
Oh, sorry.
We are excited to serve as co-hosts this morning.
Great. While this morning's Volunteer Spirit Awards will undoubtedly continue to be one of the most joyful and inspirational events of the year in our region, this morning is extra special because Volunteer New York is celebrating our 75th anniversary, and this is our largest public celebration of it. We've added a few surprises to our typical program in recognition of this incredible milestone.
Thank you for being with us here this morning. We're truly grateful for your presence and thrilled to welcome such an extraordinary crowd. This event is not only the largest volunteer recognition celebration in the region, it's also the only annual fundraising event for Volunteer New York. By joining us today, you've already made a meaningful impact on our ability to deliver our mission, to mobilize our community to address its greatest challenges. Thank you for your support. Many of you are here today to support one or more of our incredible honorees. We'll be celebrating them very soon, but first, we have a few acknowledgements. This event wouldn't be possible without the dedication of several key groups, all volunteered themselves. Our steering committee, chaired by Volunteer New York board member Lydia Criss, the award judges who helped select this year's incredible slate of honorees, and the winner buddies who have supported our category award winners over the past 3 months in preparation for today. I'd like to ask the steering committee, the award judges, and the winner buddies to all please stand so we can thank you with a well-deserved round of applause.
We would also like to acknowledge all the sponsors who made this event possible. Their banners are on display around the room and in your program journals. Soon you will hear from this year's presenting sponsor, Regeneron.
We are also grateful for the support of our elected officials and their representatives who believe in and amplify the mission of Volunteer New York. Please hold your applause until I've run through the list of who is expected here today. Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins, Westchester County Deputy County Executive Richard Wishney, Westchester County Clerk Tim Idoni, Chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators Vedat Gashi, Westchester County Legislators David Imamura and Jewel Williams-Johnson, City of New Rochelle Mayor Yadira Ramos-Herbert, City of White Plains Mayor Thomas Roach, Village of Scarsdale Mayor Justin Arrest, Village of Nyack Mayor Joseph Rand, Village of Briarcliff Manor Deputy Mayor Peter Chansky, White Plains City Councilman Richard Payne, Greenberg Town Councilwomen Joy Haber and Ellen Hendricks, Terrytown Village Trustee Kenneth Herzog, Croton-on-Hudson Village Trustee Nora Nicholson, Village of Nyack Trustee Pascal Jean Giles, and Tuckahoe Village Trustee Joshua Gaccione. Thank you for being here and for providing the many certificates and proclamations that were given to our honorees. Additionally, we were expecting Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, State Senator Shelley Mayer, State Assembly Member Amy Paulin, and State Assembly Member Mary Jane Shimsky to join us, but they have been held up in Albany to finish passing the state budget, which we appreciate, as the budget is vital to the many nonprofits supported by our partners in government. There's still time to call our state representatives and have your voices heard.
Absolutely. So when you finish here today, make your phone call and ensure your budget priorities are in the bill. Great. And now I'm happy to introduce the Interim Executive Director of Volunteer New York, Suzanne Tillman, to share a few words. Suzanne, oh, we can clap now too, to tell you about her. Suzanne joined Volunteer New York in January, bringing over 25 years of nonprofit leadership experience following 13 years in corporate human resources. She offers a unique blend of operational expertise and emotional intelligence, which she calls toolbox and temperament. As a certified professional interim executive director, Suzanne has led organizations such as Girls Inc. of Westchester, Willie Mae Rock Camp for Girls, and Capital for Change. Suzanne views leadership transitions as opportunities to strengthen culture, systems, and mission alignment. Her work is grounded in the deep commitment to equity, inclusion, and social justice, values that align closely with Volunteer New York's mission and values. Please join me in welcoming Suzanne Tillman.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Dylan. Good morning. And what a morning it is. I'm Suzanne Tillman, and I am honored to serve as Volunteer New York's Interim Executive Director at this milestone moment and pivotal time in the life of the organization. At Volunteer New York, our mission is to mobilize our community to address its greatest challenges. We envision a community that is vibrant, resilient, and equitable. And we believe that volunteerism and civic engagement are essential strategies to achieve that vision. Our work is rooted in our values and our core beliefs. We value community, we value volunteerism, and we hold these simple but transformational beliefs. Everyone can serve, volunteerism is transformational, and relationships matter. While my time with Volunteer New York is limited, the board is actively conducting a search for the next executive director with the goal of having them in place this summer. I am especially proud to lead this incredible team during the 75th anniversary year alongside Katie and Dylan. But this morning, yeah, you can clap, they deserve lots of, don't hold back on applause for the staff, never. But this morning is about you, our community. It's about spotlighting the power of people who choose to give their time, their heart, their talents to make a difference. So now I'd like to recognize just a few of the ways that people, you, have connections with this wonderful organization. If you have ever used Volunteer New York's online database to find a volunteer opportunity, would you please stand? Anybody? Stand? Yeah, okay. No, the idea is to stand, not to sit. And please stay standing. If you are a nonprofit partner of Volunteer New York, please join those who are standing. If you are a past recipient of a Volunteer Spirit Award, please join those who are standing. If you are part of our RSVP program for volunteers age 55 and older, please stand. If you are part of our RISE program, which helps individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities volunteer, please stand. If you have ever been on the Volunteer New York Board of Directors, please stand as well. If you have ever been a member of the Volunteer New York professional staff, please stand. Right, remember, no, don't hold back on applause for staff. If you are a graduate of Leadership Westchester, please stand. If you have participated in our 9/11 Serve and Remember or MLK Day of Service, please stand. If you've gone through our board boot camp or board speed dating to find opportunities for serving, please stand. All right, for those who are not standing, if you believe everyone can serve, if you believe volunteering is transformational, if you believe relationships matter, then we are connected, and please stand. All All right, before you sit down, for those who are still standing, take a look around the room. Like really, take a look around the room. There are over 600 of us here. We are the power of community in action. Thank you for getting off the sidelines. Thank you for being among those who will make the difference that is needed. Your passion, commitment, and service make our region stronger every single day. Thanks.
Thank you, Suzanne. We in our community are so fortunate that Regeneron calls Westchester home. Regeneron is a leader not only in developing life-changing medicines, but also in mobilizing their greatest asset, their people, through volunteerism in the communities in which their employees live and work. Volunteer New York is proud to support these efforts as the engine behind its annual company-wide global volunteer initiative, Day for Doing Good. I'm delighted to welcome Sally Paul, Executive Vice President, Human Resources Officer, to the stage to tell you more.
Thank you, Dylan. Good morning, everyone. Susan, that was amazing. I can't see if she went off to the right. Oh, she's right in front of me. That was really, really incredible. I apologize, but the readers have to go on. So, as Dylan mentioned, I lead the global people practice at Regeneron. And all I can say is that on behalf of my company and all of the colleagues of my company that are here in this room today, it is an honor to sponsor this year's Spirits Award and celebrate the 75th anniversary of Volunteer New York. I have to say, that is amazing. It is a milestone marking decades of impact across Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties. The Legacy Award, presented annually by Volunteer New York, and of course its board of directors, honors those who exemplify a deep commitment to volunteerism and community service. This year, by recognizing Volunteering New York itself and the Legacy Award, they celebrate the collective legacy of every volunteer, partner, and supporter who helped shape the organization over these past 75 years. Congratulations, and thank you for letting us be a part of this exciting celebration. So I'd like to share a special thank you to all of the volunteers that are being recognized today, including my own colleague, Shiva Spakuda, who is one of this year's honorees. Yes, I know, I want to clap for everyone. For showing us the true impact of service. And for those of you who may not know, as Dylan mentioned, Regeneron is a biotechnology company. We are headquartered right here in Westchester County, and in fact, right here in Tarrytown. And our mission is to use the power of science to bring new medications to patients. We believe deeply in science, but just as deeply in our people who improve lives both through their work in the lab and through their service in our communities. Volunteerism, civic engagement, and local investment are core to our philosophy of doing well by doing good. And in fact, that's why we've partnered with Volunteer New York for more than a decade, especially on one of our favorite traditions, which Dylan mentioned. We call it our Day for Doing Good, D4DG in short. Despite the name, the local effort has actually become a global, week-long volunteer movement across our company. And when I say global, I mean in the 14 countries where Regeneron is currently located. Last year, we had more than 7 colleagues who volunteered. They contributed more than 26,000 hours of service. And in Westchester, it remains the county's largest volunteer initiative. This work, I have to say something very personal. It's something that I care deeply about. And I have the privilege in my personal life, when I'm not working on behalf of Regeneron, to supporting our global communities. So much so, in fact, that for a number of years, I have now had the privilege of serving as the chair of the board of the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. This is a global organization that uses innovative technology, advocacy, and training in countries all over the world to protect children from the plights of exploitation and the risk of going missing. And we help to find vulnerable children who have gone missing and restore them to safety. I am proud to work for a company that mirrors my values and commitment to supporting our communities. In fact, over the last 8 consecutive years, Regeneron has been named to the list of the Civic 50. This is a list that actually recognizes the most community-minded companies in America, and it's led by people, or excuse me, the Points of Light, and we're going to hear, I believe, a little bit later from their CEO, and we are excited to hear those words. So just a quick wrap-up. What matters most in this incredible work is that we are committing time, energy, and resources to build sustainable communities, ones where everyone has a chance to thrive and reach their potential. So thank you to all of the volunteers, to Volunteer New York, and to every volunteer and honoree that is here today. You remind us of what passion and purpose mean as a call to action, and nothing is impossible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sally. I've also just heard that State Assembly member Dana Levenberg is here with us this morning. Dana, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Great. For 45 years, the Volunteer Spirit Awards have given us a chance to pause and reflect on the power of people coming together in service. Each year, this event reminds us that volunteerism isn't just an act of kindness, it's transformative. We face real challenges: a mental health crisis, food insecurity, systemic inequities, uncertainty, and rising loneliness, disconnection, and polarization. But we believe we have a path forward. Volunteerism is more than giving time. It's about building connection, bridging divides, and rediscovering purpose and hope. Saying yes to service means saying yes to each other and to the future we want to create. At Volunteer New York, we don't believe volunteering is just nice. We believe it's essential. If you're here this morning, it's because you already believe in the power of community. But I also want to invite you to take the next step with us, whether it's learning more about one of our programs, volunteering, or supporting our mission. There's a role for everyone in this room. And together, we can help more people get off the sidelines, get involved, and make a difference. Today's honorees embody that spirit. They saw a need and asked, "What can I do to help?" You'll find our honorees' stories in your journal. But now, let's hear their impact in our community come to life.
To present our first award, I'd like to welcome Michelle A. Nicholas, Board Vice Chair of the PCSB Community Foundation and a 2018 graduate of Volunteer New York's Leadership Westchester program, to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Looking for my name in the section, so give me 1 second. On behalf of PCSB Community Foundation, I am pleased to be with you today to support the spirit of volunteerism. The Volunteer New York Volunteer Spirit Awards is one of our region's most uplifting and inspiring events, highlighting the remarkable contributions of individuals and organizations working to strengthen our community. PCSB Community Foundation is proud to support nonprofits that are not only addressing the pressing needs to our communities, but also building a foundation of long-term positive change. It's my pleasure to introduce Shavas Wakuta. I'm sorry, I had to look at his mom over there. A shining example of how small acts of kindness can make a big impact. Through Regeneron's partnership with Volunteer New York, Shavas connected with one sandwich at a time and immediately felt aligned with its mission. He joined their board in 2019 and has stayed hands-on ever since, personally making and delivering hundreds of sandwiches to those in need, including up to 200 a week during the pandemic. Yes. Shiva says there is strength in serving people, and his work reminds us just how true that is. So, it is with great pleasure that I ask Shavas to come forward and receive the 2025 Community of Life Award.
Thank you, everyone, and good morning. Thank you to Michelle and to the PCSB Community Foundation for this recognition. I'm truly grateful to be standing here today accepting the Quality of Life Award. Thank you to Volunteer New York. You've really shaped my journey in community service. Your work was able to connect me with our community. It was through your board boot camp, I actually got connected with One Sandwich at a Time, who I also want to thank today because you're the reason why I'm standing here on this stage. When I first moved to New York 15 years ago, I wanted to find a way to make a difference beyond my professional life. That happened when I met Aaron and George, co-founders of One Sandwich at a Time. Meeting them was like a moment of clarity for me. It was because I realized I could be myself and bring myself to helping others, especially to a cause and to an organization that I felt so connected with. You see, One Sandwich at a Time aims to spread hope and end hunger by inspiring others to impact their community. And it can be done through the simple act of creating a sandwich. That deeply resonated with me because I firmly believe that small acts of kindness can lead to monumental change. It's not just about feeding somebody, it's about igniting a chain reaction of compassion and community involvement. So, while I'm here today, I want to take this moment, I'm very grateful for this moment. I want to take some time to just encourage everyone, each of you, to find your own passion and get involved in your community. Do not underestimate the power of small actions. Whether it's volunteering your time or sharing a meal, every action counts. So think about what you're passionate about, find a cause, and use it to build the momentum for the change you want to see and the impact you want to make in whatever you're passionate about. Finally, I'd like to thank my friends, my husband, my family. My mom and my aunt actually flew in yesterday from Hawaii to be here. For joining me here today. It's these people that I'm so close to, and my colleagues also at Regeneron. It's you folks that remind me of the aloha and the compassion that we are all capable of, and it's also so important to show that love and compassion. So thank you once again for this honor, and let us continue to spread hope and kindness one act at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivas. I am now happy to invite up Volunteer New York, Board Vice Chair, and a 2019 graduate of Volunteer New York's Leadership Westchester program, Rosemary Burns, Vice President of Patient Experience for WMC Health, to present this year's Resiliency Award.
Thank you, Katie. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of WMC Health, it's my pleasure to be here this morning to present the Resiliency Award. At WMC Health, we value a diverse, inclusive, and engaged community of providers and seekers of quality health care. In our family, thank you. We are proud to support a culture of volunteerism and couldn't do the work that we do without our volunteers. And we greatly appreciate all volunteers in the community who go above and beyond to support the health and well-being of others. This year's honorees, Najib and Freshta, each overcame unimaginable challenges, fleeing Afghanistan after the Taliban's return to power. Their stories are powerful, but it's what they've done since arriving in Westchester that truly exemplifies resilience. Freshta was born in a rural village just north of the Blue Mosque in Mazar-e-Sharif. While many of her classmates were being forced into marriages with much older men, Freshta pursued her education with determination. She studied law and became a vocal advocate for women's rights. Even after a roadside bomb killed 3 of her fellow activists, her courage made her a target. Her father, a humble man, was brutally beaten for simply being her parent. Today, her mother and father join her here, and that is such a triumph. Then came August 26, 2021, the darkest day of her life. That morning, she said goodbye to her family and friends, not knowing if she would ever see them again. Desperate and overwhelmed, she fought her way through the chaos at the Kabul airport, and at Abbey Gate, U.S. Marine Captain Dan Spikerman reached over the wall and pulled her to safety. Just hours later, a suicide bomber detonated nearby, killing 183 people and closing that escape route forever. But Freshta's story doesn't end there. As the first refugee welcomed by Open Arms for Refugees here in Westchester, she became its first refugee volunteer and now serves on the board of directors. She has transformed her pain into purpose, offering translation, advocacy, and a warm welcome for others following in her footsteps. Najib, too, brings a quiet strength and leadership to the refugee community, helping families, supporting with logistics, and ensuring newcomers feel safe, seen, and at home. Together, Freshta and Najib remind us that those who have been helped often become the ones who help others, and that cycle of service is what strengthens communities. Freshta, I hope today is one of your brightest days. And on behalf of WMC Health, please join me in welcoming Freshta, who is accepting the 2025 Resiliency Award on behalf of she and Naveed.
Thank you, Rosemary. I'm not Najib. I'm Ted Berger, one of the co-founders of Open Arms for Refugees. I apologize, but I need to ask you a favor on behalf of Freshta and Najib. Things were not good in Afghanistan before they left. They are worse now, putting known relatives in danger. As we rightly recognize Najib and Freshta, I ask you to be discreet and not use their last names in any social media or other media posts. Thank you, and congratulations to all the award winners.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Rosemary, for the kind introduction and for WMC Health's support of volunteers. Najib and I also want to thank Volunteer New York and all of you here for this special recognition and for all you do for others. Let me tell you why volunteering is important to me. In September 2021, I was flown to America. I did not speak English. I did not know how I would house and feed myself. Today, I have a good job, an apartment, and friends, colleagues whom I trust and hold dear. I owe my new life to the kindness of strangers, especially to Open Arms, who welcomed me, who taught me English and how to live in America. To Karen and Jay at Neighbors Link, who helped me get asylum and last September bring my parents to safety in America. Thank you. Thank you. To many supportive employers, and especially thank you to Dr. Betty Campbell for patiently helping me learn the process at the courts. I owe you all so much. Open Arms helped me in another way that all of you here will understand. By letting me be an Open Arms volunteer and help new arrivals. It gave my life new purpose and a focus beyond myself. Giving back also helped both Najib and me see our own strength. And the power of the group let us accomplish more together than any one of us could do alone. Working with Neighbors for Refugees and a New York State program, we helped 16 Afghan families in the New York City shelter system start their new lives. And now, we and Open Arms, 20 supporting houses of worship, pray that Afghan allies already waited will be permitted to come to the US as refugees. There is another joy of volunteering for both Najib and me. The wonderful caring volunteers from Open Arms have become trusted and dearest friends. They are our Open Arms family. On Najib's behalf, I want to publicly express his thanks to Maud Freiberg and Jamel Wilson of Neighbors for Refugees, who helped him and others in so many ways. And I would like to close with a thought about Volunteers New York and the 600 people in this room. A meaningful life is not measured by personal achievement alone, but by the impact we have on others. This world can be a difficult place, but every day we are giving countless opportunities, both big and small. kindness, a moment of understanding, or a lifetime of service. We each hold the power to create ripples of change. They extend far beyond what we can see. In that spirit, Najib and I want to thank all of you for what you do as volunteers. And in service to others, it does make a difference. Thank you all.
Thank you, Freshta, for your bravery. To present the next award, the Legacy Award, I'm excited to welcome to the stage Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins. Volunteer New York has built strong relationships with many community leaders, but perhaps none as robust as our connection with the leadership guiding Westchester County. While today our footprint spans Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties, Westchester is where our story began 75 years ago as the Volunteer Service Bureau of Westchester, founded by 5 visionary women working from a borrowed desk and telephone at the former YMCA in White Plains. We're especially honored to have a special guest with us this morning, Barbara Schwartz, the daughter-in-law of one of our founders. Barbara, will you please stand and wave? Barbara, thank you for joining us. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce a man who truly needs no introduction, Westchester's 10th County Executive and my good friend, Ken Jenkins.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Let's try again. Good morning. What an uplifting and powerful morning it has been. I want to begin by congratulating each of today's Volunteer Spirit Award honorees. You are leaders, change makers, and community builders. You remind us every day that leadership does not require a title, just a willingness to show up and make a difference. You've made Westchester County and our region a stronger, more resilient, and more connected place. On behalf of the residents of Westchester County, I thank you. It's truly an honor to be with you here today to present this year's Legacy Award to an organization that holds deep meaning to so many across our region, Volunteer New York. As someone has dedicated much of my life to civic engagement and public service, I've seen firsthand the power of volunteers to build trust, bridging divides, and transforming lives. My civic journey started long before any elected office, long before serving as Deputy County Executive or leading the Westchester County Board of Legislators or even leading the Yonkers branch of the NAACP. It started for me in Yonkers as a young man, watching my parents serve with integrity. My father was a police officer, my mom was a nurse. And it grew stronger through my years in serving in the Boy Scouts, where I probably served as a senior patrol leader in the Bronx at Troop 32. Those early experiences taught me a valuable lesson, like the value of service, not as a box to check, but as a lifelong calling. It's how we connect with our neighbors, strengthen our communities, and live out our shared values. Volunteer New York has been teaching those same lessons through actions for 75 years. They understand that service is transformational. They understand that volunteering strengthens communities, builds relationships, and reminds people of their shared humanity. Because for 75 years, they've been figuring out the many reasons why volunteering is a need to have, not a nice to have. Why an engaged, compassionate community will run circles around the disjointed community any day of the week. From a borrowed desk and a single telephone at the YMCA on Mamaroneck Avenue to an award-winning region-wide hub for engagement, this organization has grown because it meets a simple and powerful need: People want help. They just need a way to get started. Volunteer New York has been that starting point to get people to help. Whether it's matching people with local nonprofits, supporting students and seniors, or helping Westchester families find purpose through service, this organization turns intention into impact. Just last year, they've helped mobilize over 35,000 volunteers who gave nearly 500,000 hours of service to our region. And the mission is simple: to mobilize our community to address its greatest challenges, where as a result we get a stronger, more connected, and more resilient Westchester County. As we look forward and ahead to the future of service in our region, I can't think of a more fitting recipient of this year's Legacy Award than Volunteer New York. And I can, yeah, you can clap for that. And I can't think of a better moment to pause and celebrate how far they've come. When I think of the legacy of volunteerism in our community, all the families and generations impacted over the years, and the exponential impact that they will continue to make. Volunteer New York will forever be tied to the endless potential of people and community and what happens when you nurture leadership and you work together. And that is a legacy to be proud of, to celebrate, and to support. So now, it is my great pleasure to present the 2025 Legacy Award to Volunteer New York and introduce a short video that celebrates their extraordinary journey and their deep community impact and their vision for the next 75 years. Let's go, Volunteer New York.
It amazes me that Volunteer New York has been around for 75 years.
Volunteer New York has been around for the last 75 years because at our core, this concept of community and connections and volunteerism is universal.
You don't find many organizations that have been around for 75 years.
Volunteer New York started because 75 years ago, a small group of women got together at the YMCA in White Plains in an office with a borrowed phone. And they said, okay, we're here. We're going to start connecting people with the real needs in the community.
They took action and built the foundation for the organization that we're celebrating today.
And that was it. That was the spark. But that spark lit a fire, and 75 years later, Volunteer New York is still going strong in so many ways.
75 years in and of itself is an accomplishment just for this organization to not only have survived, but have thrived.
Over the 75 years, we may have been known to you in many different ways. The Volunteer Service Bureau, Volunteer Center of United Way. When we decided to rebrand, it was to get more people to join us. Our brand is our name, and our name is a call to action. Volunteer New York, with an exclamation point.
I am proud of how the organization has grown. I watched us rebrand to Volunteer New York and really just changed our trajectory.
It was a chance for us to separate and become the organization that we are now.
One of the things that I've always loved about Volunteer New York is how it stands up for the entire community. It shows up for every issue, for every cause.
Whether it's food insecurity, literacy.
Volunteer New York doesn't decide what the issues are. It looks at what the community is asking for, what the hundreds of nonprofits that are active in our community need.
And throughout our history, we've also shown up in times of disaster.
Whether that be a Katrina or a pandemic, Volunteer New York gives people who want to help that opportunity.
At its core, Volunteer New York is a connector organization.
And it's so easy when you connect with Volunteer New York.
One of the most significant benefits of the work of Volunteer New York is that it gives visibility to causes and needs and communities.
We realized pretty early on, we are unique in our community. We are the only organization in our community that does what we do.
The reason why Volunteer New York's legacy is so important is because of the work they do. and the quiet work that they do.
We have worked really hard to listen to the community, our partners and community members, to really understand the needs.
The legacy of Volunteer New York is its impact. We've had thousands of volunteers come through Volunteer New York.
Last year, we mobilized 35,000 volunteers with 300 nonprofit partners to provide 457,000 volunteer hours, which represents the economic equivalence of $16.9 million. And that is our legacy. Our legacy is the thousands of volunteers, the thousands of nonprofits, and the hundreds of thousands of volunteer hours and the millions and millions of dollars that we have invested in our region in the lower Hudson Valley over the past 75 years.
I believe Volunteer New York is a need to have because it's offering a service that agencies like mine could not provide on their own. We do have a volunteer recruitment manager, but she's one person. One person can't be in that many places at once, but Volunteer New York can.
For me personally, the legacy of Volunteer New York is seeing my grandchildren volunteer and understand the role that Volunteer New York plays in their lives. 75 years spans a lot of generations.
Volunteer New York is an invaluable resource without which we probably couldn't do our programs. I almost liken it to like an engine. The engine are our volunteers, and the fuel by which our volunteers can operate is Volunteer New York.
Imagining our community without Volunteer New York is like imagining what a house would be like without its foundation. We're part of the structure that really keeps people together, and that's what volunteering does. It brings people together. And it brings people together sometimes who would never have found each other, never have worked together for a common good to solve a problem.
I think why Volunteer New York is so important now is because nonprofits are in fact losing money and people are busier than ever.
It feels like it is getting harder and harder to get people involved in their community.
Nonprofit organizations need people power now more than ever.
Communities are fragile.
If we don't have people stepping into those roles, then those institutions will go away.
It is important to reduce barriers to volunteerism.
And that's why we need everyone's help to continue to do the great work that we currently do.
This 75th anniversary celebration is as much about looking backwards as it is looking forwards. It's as much about what is the impact that Volunteer New York is going to have in its next 75 years.
Congratulations on 75.
Congratulations.
I am truly excited to see what the next 75 years looks like.
Happy birthday, Volunteer New York. You've never looked better.
If you have the opportunity to get involved with Volunteer New York, you should volunteer. Get involved one way or the other.
All right, so let's all stand up and give a round of applause for our Legacy Award winners, Volunteer New York. And let's ask Katie, Michael, and Amy to come up and accept this award.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Ken. First, for wearing the orange tie. We noticed that. But for your inspiring words, your leadership of the county, and for your longtime support of Volunteer New York. On behalf of the board and staff of Volunteer New York, it is my honor to serve as board chair during this milestone year and to accept this 2025 Legacy Award on behalf of our entire organization. This award not only commemorates 75 years of Volunteer New York's impact, but also honors the countless individuals, volunteers, nonprofit partners, staff, board members, funders, and community champions who have helped drive our mission forward since our founding in 1950. I am proud to be joined on stage by some of those nonprofit partners, corporate champions, partners in government, and my fellow members of the Volunteer New York Board of Directors, all of whom have played a pivotal role in advancing our mission. My personal work with Volunteer New York goes back more than 10 years, when they asked me to help arrange a bone marrow donor registration booth at the 9/11 Day of Service. From that very first moment, it was obvious to me that the passion of this organization was infectious, and the impact of this organization was substantial, and I wanted to be more involved. So I asked, where can other people go to seek support to find their own volunteer passion? Where can nonprofits turn to cultivate their own volunteers and board members? Where can corporations turn to help mobilize their employees for days of doing good? And where can our community turn in times of need to organize resources? And the answer is, of course, Volunteer New York. And I am proud to be serving this organization and our mission. We are lean, but we are mighty. And the need in our community has never been greater. With your help, we can do more. As we reflect on our past, we also embrace the ways our organization is evolving. As we advance our strategic plan and search for our next executive director, Volunteer New York is not standing still. We are growing, adapting, and innovating to meet the needs of today's communities and tomorrow's challenges. Whether through new programs, expanded partnerships, or deeper support of volunteers and nonprofits, we remain committed to leading the way in civic engagement, making it easier, more accessible, and more impactful for everyone to get involved.
Out come the reading glasses. Dylan, I changed my whole speech. No, just kidding. Thank you, Michael, for sharing your Volunteer New York journey as well as your inspiring words. Volunteer New York has had a significant impact in my life for the last 8 years. My journey began when I connected with staff members Katie Pfeiffer and Jennifer Machuca to organize a volunteer opportunity for Ossining High School students on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Little did I know that moment would change my life and help me truly understand the importance and joy of giving back to my community. Over the years, my family, my friends, and I have volunteered on 9/11 Day of Service, cleaning up parks, removing invasive plants, and making blankets, among many other things. Everyone here knows the power of community, and as Martin Luther King Jr. said, everyone can be great because everyone can serve, and that is truly powerful. Volunteer New York receiving the Legacy Award is not just a reflection of where we've been, it's a celebration of what's next. It's a call to continue building something meaningful together, because the best way to honor our past is to keep moving forward, united in purpose and powered by people. I'd like to take a moment to recognize my fellow board members of the Volunteer New York Board of Directors, all standing here. Applause or welcome. I know I also speak for Michael when I say this is one of the most dedicated, thoughtful, and engaged boards I've ever had the privilege of being part of. Each board member brings their time, talent, and passion to the table in support of our mission, and their leadership plays a critical role in our continued growth and impact. I also want to recognize the extraordinary Volunteer New York staff. As a board, we are so deeply grateful to work in partnership with such a passionate, mission-driven, and tireless team. Their creativity, heart, and dedication drive this mission forward every single day. And their behind-the-scenes work is what makes events like this one so successful. If you're currently a member of the Volunteer New York staff, would you please stand? I'd like to thank the staff because everything they do for our organization and our partners and our community.
Thank you, Amy. And to everyone here today, whether you're a longtime supporter or this is your first time joining us, we invite you to be part of what comes next. And we need you. We need you to volunteer. We need you to give back. We need you to support our mission. Together, we can turn good intentions into action and ensure that Volunteer New York continues to be a driving force for good for the next 75 years and beyond. Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh, yeah. Let me find our spot. Great. Okay, thank you, Ken, Michael, and Amy, and thank you to everyone who joined us on stage. As we mentioned earlier, we've added a few special twists to this year's program in honor of our 75th anniversary. You probably already caught a few of them, and here's another. For those of us who join us at the Volunteer Spirit Awards each year, and if this is your first time, I am personally inviting each and every one of you to come back next year. You're likely familiar with our 2-minute pledge, our signature call to action. The 2-minute pledge was first introduced by Volunteer New York's former executive director, Elisa Keston. In celebration of this milestone year, I'm thrilled to welcome back to the VSA stage Elisa Keston, joined by another former executive director, Joanna Straub. Together, they are serving as co-chairs of this year's Volunteer New York's 75th Anniversary Benefit Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. And it is such a pleasure to be working with Joanna Straub again. 75 years ago, 5 visionary women understood a fundamental truth. In times of uncertainty, taking action together is the most powerful response. They knew that when facing challenges that seem insurmountable, the best way to get unstuck is by helping others and addressing critical issues together. As we gather here today, we know many of us in this room and throughout our community may be feeling a very deep sense of uncertainty. That's precisely why the vision of this organization remains so vital today. Just as we did as the Volunteer Service Bureau, Volunteer Center of United Way, and now as Volunteer New York, we continue to be the solution.
You've already heard from some of our fabulous award winners this morning about the profound impact of service, how it not only uplifts others, but transforms the giver. But even with 75 years of progress, a recent survey shows that many still don't know how to find volunteer opportunities or question if their actions will truly make a difference. Don't let uncertainty lead to paralysis. Our founders understood that the way to combat hopelessness and fear is to do something by connecting with others who share common purpose.
And that's where Volunteer New York comes in. Just as we did from that borrowed desk with a single phone, we continue to make connections today using all of the new technologies available. As our community's unique organization focused solely on inviting people to serve, Volunteer New York provides meaningful, accessible opportunities that turn good intentions into real impact. Whether you want to address an urgent need or deepen your involvement with a cause you already care about, Volunteer New York makes it easy for you to find your path. And over the 45 years of this breakfast and beyond, we've seen countless individuals make extraordinary contributions. Now, I want to reflect on all the Legacy Award winners from today's back through the ages. This morning, we are missing one who had every intention of being a part of this and certainly of being a part of the benefit committee. Jerry Shapiro of blessed memory stood up here just a few years ago in this very room, and she demonstrated for all of us what the volunteer bug looked like. As she called it that day, the volunteer bug. She said that it can empower any of us to make a difference, from your local community to the wider world. And as Jerry herself said that day, people underestimate how awesome it is to be a volunteer. So true, and we miss her. Now, let's hear it from another wonderful former executive director and our friend Jeanette Gisbert to learn more about how Volunteer New York works its magic. I think we have a video.
From Westchester to Rockland to Putnam, there are incredible individuals and organizations working to make our community stronger. However, bringing people together can be challenging, which is why for 75 years, Volunteer New York has been on a mission to mobilize our community to address its greatest challenges, to create the pathways that turn our good intentions into action, bringing volunteers together and inspiring empathy over apathy. In support of hundreds of local nonprofits, community partners, and causes, join Volunteer New York to stand shoulder to shoulder with your neighbors to make a difference, while meeting new people, exploring new opportunities, creating moments for listening and learning, and discovering the power of volunteering and its ability to unite, empower, and transform. Because there is a path waiting for you at Volunteer New York. Whether it's through dedicated programs like RSVP of Westchester for adults age 55 and older, or RISE, which is taking inclusive volunteering for adults with intellectual or developmental disabilities to the next level, or Board Boot Camp, which is growing the pipeline of individuals ready to join nonprofit boards, or if you're a business in our community that wants to give back, there are hundreds of opportunities to serve throughout the Lower Hudson Valley that are available every day at volunteernewyork.org. Everyone wants to make a difference. Everyone has the power to serve. And it all starts with you. Join us. Let's build a more vibrant, resilient, and equitable community together.
Now that you know a little more about why and how we accomplish our mission, we're about to offer you an opportunity to have an immediate impact on our community. And it is right here on this action card that you will find on your tables. Our 2-minute pledge is your opportunity to tell us a few things. That you want to help, you want our help to find a volunteer opportunity that fits your interests and schedule. That you are ready to start a conversation about how your company and your colleagues can get involved. That you want to become a Giving Tuesday community champion. That it is time for your nonprofit organization to connect with ours.
This is also the best time to pledge your support so we can continue funding the engine that powers these vital connections and ensures that Volunteer New York will be here for you and your neighbors for many years to come. So you've heard this before, but it bears repeating. Last year alone, okay, last year, the dollars raised from those in this room helped mobilize 35,000 volunteers who served over 457,000 hours at more than 300 local nonprofits, delivering a value of $16.9 million back to our community. That's money that wasn't going to go, no one was writing a check for that, okay? And we did that on a budget of $1.7 million. I think that is a pretty darn great return on your investment.
And to To further incentivize your commitment, a family with very deep ties to the mission of Volunteer New York has pledged to match the first $10,000 donated today. Wow! So please, grab your action card now and get ready. This year, we are once again trying a QR code without Wi-Fi, and it worked well last year. But if you have any trouble with the QR code, no worries, just complete the card. It's front and back. And please do tell us how we might connect with you.
Okay, so seriously, get ready to make your commitment to
Where are those
act,
cards? I
to
wanna see
get
'em.
unstuck. Honestly, you just have 2 minutes. We've got a countdown. Here it goes for real. Okay, ready? The countdown is going to start now. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Time's up, but please, if you want to, you can add another 0, you can add another hour. It's okay. Thank you so much. Now, you can seal your action cards and any checks. You can put them in the envelope that's on your table. As soon as the program ends, folks from Volunteer New York are going to come by and pick up the envelopes. It works very smoothly, and you can also hand in your individual check as you envelope as you leave at the table outside at registration. Okay, I don't know, but I'm always going to say we. Okay,
Yeah.
They will follow up with everyone to help you on your next step toward action. Thank you very much, very, very much.
Thank you.
That was legendary. Thank you to everyone for your continued investment in Volunteer New York, and thank you to the Keston family for matching the first $10,000 of contributions we just received. I'd also like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Elisa and Joanna for leading this year's 75th Anniversary Benefit Committee. We are also deeply grateful to the entire Benefit Committee for your time, energy, and dedication. If you served on the Benefit Committee this year, would you please stand so we can recognize and thank you? Thank you for all you have done to make the 75th anniversary celebration possible and all you have done to help us reach this milestone. Now, to present our next award, I'm pleased to invite Tom Gabriel, President and CEO of the United Way of Westchester and Putnam, to the stage. The United Way of Westchester and Putnam is a steadfast champion for asset-limited, income-constrained, employed, or ALICE households, and delivers vital support that lifts hardworking families from the brink of crisis to stability and hope. Whether it's through its grant-making, 211 helpline, Education United after-school program, or its essential goods for basic needs program, the United Way provides help for today, hope for tomorrow, and the resources to build a better future for our local community. Tom?
Thank you so much, Dylan, and good morning, everyone. Forgive me, I have my own comments because they're a little bigger type. Before I present the Social Advocacy Award to my dear friend Paul Adler, I'd like to take a moment to congratulate Volunteer New York on 75 years of remarkable impact. Long before it became Volunteer New York in 2014, the organization operated for over 30 years as the volunteer center of the United Way. And although we were always separate nonprofit organizations, the innovative strategic collaboration benefited both of our organizations at that time and helped us all forge a path of deep community impact. Today, Volunteer New York remains a vital partner to the United Way of Westchester and Putnam and as an essential support system for opportunities for nonprofits across Westchester, Rockland, and Putnam counties. I'm especially proud of our partnership around Volunteer New York's Board Boot Camp and the Board Speed Dating event programs. The Board Boot Camp, if you don't know about it, equips individuals and with the tools and insights and best practices to grow into impactful community leaders. And the Board Speed Dating event, in turn, helps connect prospective board members with nonprofit organizations that need to expand their capacity. Our organization alone has gotten 5 incredible board members through that program. But more importantly, on to the business at hand. On behalf of the United Way of Westchester and Putnam, I'm honored to present the 2025 Social Advocacy Award to Paul Adler, Esquire. In recognition, yes, please. In recognition of his lifelong dedication to civic engagement and social advocacy that has empowered communities across Rockland County. I have had the pleasure of knowing Paul for 10 years now. First having met him through the organization Legal Services of the Hudson Valley, where he was a board member. The first thing you notice about Paul when you meet him is he can rock a bow tie like nobody else. The second thing you notice is that absolutely infectious and enlightening smile that just brings you right in. But the third thing you notice, and after you get to know him, is something that was written about him as part of his nomination. It's that his parents instilled in him a motto: don't just be a joiner, be a doer. It's, as a fellow get stuff done type, we appreciate that in others. We appreciate the Peter Drucker philosophy, the mantra that says, ideas don't move mountains, bulldozers move mountains. And I can tell you, Paul is a bulldozer in the best possible way. From beautifying a neighborhood on Earth Day as a teenager to champion systemic change as the chair of the Civic Engagement Committee for the NAACP Nyack branch, Paul has spent nearly 5 decades living the values and getting things done. His leadership has driven programs on voting rights, education equity, and legislative advocacy, ensuring that underserved voices are not only heard, but truly valued. Whether organizing voter registration drives for formerly incarcerated individuals or bringing together unlikely allies to demand education reform, Paul has exemplified what it means to be a doer, not just a joiner. and his unwavering belief in the power of collective action and shared humanity shines through in every one of his actions. For his decades of service and meaningful impact, we are proud to honor Paul Adler with the 2025 Social Advocacy Award. Congratulations, Paul.
Well, thank you, Tom. My mother would have written that, and my father would have believed it. I am so grateful to Volunteer New York. And I'm grateful to all of you, more than 600 people that left yesterday to get here this morning at 7:30. But on the flip side, I know 95% of the people, particularly those in Rockland, are not going to work after this. This is really where the long weekend begins. First and foremost, heartfelt gratitude to Tom Gabriel of United Way and of Westchester and Putnam. I've had the privilege of working front line with Tom Gabriel. He is second to none, and we really appreciate what you do. It's an honor to be here this morning to receive this Social Advocacy Award. When you see these kinds of things start to parallel and to come together in a room of people that understand that at its very core, social advocacy is what gives us all the lift we need for humanity. I thank you for recognizing my 48 years with the NAACP. It's an invaluable partnership, and the support you provide for organizations like the NIAC NAACP and so many across our communities, so very meaningful. When you give charity and volunteerism to folks you don't even know and have no idea what the benefit you're giving them is, that is, according to Maimonides, one of the highest forms of charity you can give. I want to take a moment to acknowledge, just look around this room, the greatness of Volunteer New York. What a beacon of hope and connection for so many throughout the region. If you're really looking to make a difference and you're here because you're honoring someone and you don't know what to do, you need to get unstuck, right? So that means pick up the phone, write on that card, and figure out a way to get involved with Volunteer New York. You will be blessed as you bless others. Whether you're passionate about civil rights, environmental justice, or supporting the underrepresented in our community, there is a volunteer opportunity for you to contribute your time, your energy, your skills, and your money in meaningful ways. Thank you, Adiv. Like me, you too can be a change maker in your own right. The work I've had the privilege to be part of, and it is a real privilege to be the chair of the Civic Engagement Committee of the NIAC NAACP for as long as I have been doing it. And the NAACP, for those of you who don't know, is the oldest civil rights organization in the world. I've been fortunate to work closely and alongside with the likes of Dr. Hazel Dukes, who unfortunately went home to her maker just a few weeks ago. She was the national NAACP chair and the state conference chair. Dr. Frances Pratt, who over 45 years ago, Dr. Frances Pratt, She and I met when I went to work at Nyack Hospital, and both of us were waiting for offices to be renovated, and they put us up in a little area called 3 North, which was appropriately adjacent to the psychiatric ward. And actually, we're both still there in the psychiatric ward. Nikki Hines, who's the current president, the new way of the NAACP, I am so grateful to you for nominating me. Thank you, Nikki Hines, the president of the NAACP. In 2019, I was inducted into the Rockland County Human Rights Hall of Fame and also received the Carolyn Fish Humanitarian Award. And every day since, I'm reminded of the immense responsibility and the power we all have to shape the world around us. When you think about it, that recognition is humbling. It's not just a testament to my work, to the collective efforts, though, of everybody in this room fighting for the same cause. A cause that is needed more now, today, than ever before. The fight for civil rights and human rights is far from over. In fact, it's under assault. It's under assault. We need to find ways together to volunteer to make this place better than when we found it. It's not your responsibility to finish the job, but it's your responsibility to help complete the job. I want to give a shout out to so many of the groups here, but you know, the Rocklanders, we had to wait for the bridge to get opened. It wasn't even open that early in the morning. And it's sort of interesting, there's no toll into Westchester, but on the way back, we have to pay a toll. So just a shout out to my NAACP family, my Center for Safety and Change family, the Giovanio family, the WCA family, the Center for Safety and Change I mentioned, Legal Services of the Hudson Valley, my RAND family, of course, the Community Foundation family where I serve as president, and of course to my Montefiore Nyack Hospital Foundation family. But the real kudos go to my wife, Mary, who has been my rock. And to my family and all those little Kachkas over there. Yay! They came to see Tati get an award. And on here, Shai wrote, "I love you, Tati," so that's part of my notes. But I do want to say this. This award, this organization, and what all of you do, you're not the uninitiated. You're the connectors. I thank you on behalf of me and my family and the NAACP. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now for the next award, I invite Volunteer New York board member Joe Fahrenkopf, a partner at PKF O'Connor Davies, LLP, to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Wow. I'm Joe Fahrenkopf, partner at PKF O'Connor Davies. On behalf of PKF O'Connor Davies, it's my honor to introduce an extraordinary young leader. At PKF O'Connor Davies, community, leadership, and volunteerism are not just values. We live by them. From the 3 partners who have served before me on the Volunteer New York's board for nearly 2 decades combined, to our annual support of the Orange Book, a vital resource for civic engagement in our region, we are honored to champion this award and the next generation of changemakers. Today, we recognize Rowan and Christian Diaz, 2 brothers whose commitment to empathy and inclusion has already left a powerful mark. What began in their backyard as a way to include their younger sister, Ellie, in a game of lacrosse has grown into a full-fledged not-for-profit, Able Athletics, Inc., creating accessible sports opportunities for children with special needs across multiple communities. Their adaptive sports program has empowered young athletes, fostered greater understanding among volunteerism, and opened doors that had long been closed. Through every session, every smile, and every shared success, they've proven that inclusion has power to change lives. Although Rowan could not be here today with us, Christian is here to accept this honor on behalf of them both. Please join me in congratulating the 2025 Youth Leadership Award recipients, Rowan and Christian Diaz. I encourage everyone to read more about Rowan and Christian's story, which you'll find in his bio on today's benefit journal that's on your table next to the Orange Book.
I'd like to first start by congratulating all of today's award winners. It is an honor to be recognized alongside such inspiring individuals who are making a difference in our community. Thank you to Volunteer New York and to Melissa Ponzio, parent of an able athlete, for nominating Rowan and I for this award. I'm proud to accept this award on behalf of both myself and my brother Rowan, who couldn't be here due to a school commitment. We are incredibly grateful for this recognition and share it with the amazing volunteers who make Able Athletics possible. This all started with our sister Elle, who has a rare genetic disorder. Growing up with a sibling with special needs has shaped how we see the world. It's taught us patience and the power of inclusion. But what's been even more meaningful is seeing how others, those without a sibling like Elle, have embraced this mission. Since 2020, we've had over 1,500 volunteers participate in our mission. Through education and hands-on experience, our volunteers learn how to engage and communicate. In doing so, they become more compassionate, more aware, and more committed to creating a world where everyone belongs. A huge thank you to our parents who inspire us every day, and to the families of the athletes that share their Sundays with us. Gratitude to our mentors and supporters, Dr. Erica Majorano, Allison Kunkosis, James Sinowitz, Jeremy Gusky, Judy Siegel of Pro Bono Partnership, the Andrew Quaid Dwyer Foundation, who has been a change maker in our mission. Thank you, Volunteer New York, for believing in us. And thank you to everyone here today. Let's keep building a more inclusive world together.
Thank you, Christian. I am now happy to invite back up to the stage Volunteer New York Board Secretary Amy Seiden, who will be joined by her husband Mark and their 3 children, Ben, Lindsay, and Rachel, to present this year's Education and Literacy Award.
Mark, Ben, Lindsay, Rachel, and I are so pleased to be here this morning to present the 2025 Education and Literacy Award. This year's honoree, Kimberly Janeway, reminds us that literacy is not just a skill, it's a lifeline. Her journey began with her immigrant grandmother, who believed regular trips to the library were the key to a better life, and she was right. Kimberly went on to earn degrees in journalism and has spent her life putting words and service to meaningful use. Today, Kimberly's passion for education shines through her work with the Family Service Society of Yonkers, an important nonprofit partner of Volunteer New York. I should add, where she provides one-on-one reading support to students in under-resourced schools. What started with one student has grown into a powerful commitment. She now tutors 6 young readers, helping them build not just literacy skills, but also confidence and joy. Her students are thriving, some going from well below grade level to above it, and Kimberly is helping lay the foundation for their future, just as her grandmother did for her. We are honored to welcome Kimberly Janeway to the stage to receive the 2025 Volunteer Spirit Award for Education and Literacy. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. So this opening remark may not work now, but anyway, what I was planning to say is in the past, when I've spoken before a crowd, I was an anxious mess, and I think to myself, wow, what a nightmare this is. But not today. No, I'm looking out at this room filled with hundreds of people, and I realize this is my dream. This is a place where many people are passionate about volunteering. That's right, they work for free. They work for free because they see a problem and they work to change it. They see people who need a helping hand. Thank you, Volunteer New York, for all that you do and for this award, and to this beautiful Sidon family for their support. And thank you, Family Service Society of Yonkers, who for over 140 years has helped the most vulnerable in our county. So how did we all gather here today? I mean, maybe it started with an email inviting you to this event, or you saw an online promotion, or you read a story in the newspaper. You are here today, my friends, because you can read. Reading is a fundamental skill that leads to opportunities like this. That's why each week I read with children who struggle with reading. If our kids can't read, how can they dream? How can they dream of the possibilities that life offers? When I was a child, I looked out my bedroom window and saw a steel mill puffing out red smoke, and that red dust covered car windows, and those car windows became my canvas because for fun, I would draw pictures in that red dust. My world was working class, and people worked hard, but they struggled to get by. But I was lucky. I was really lucky. I had one person who showed me a new path, and that person was my grandmother, who had an 8th grade education. She wanted more for me, so every Saturday we went to the library, and she said I could take out as many books, imagine that, free. I could take out as many books as I could carry. Being a good reader, she said, was my ticket that would take me beyond the steel mills to college and to my dream job. And she was right about all of that. Books introduced me to a new world, and I want children in lower income areas in Westchester and Rockland and Putnam, and I want the kids that I read with, I want them to dream big. One person can make a difference in a child's life, and I hope you'll be that person. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kimberly. Readers are the best. Just gonna throw that out there. Great. Okay. We want to say congratulations again to all of our award winners. This morning, you've heard story after story that highlights the power of connection, community, and bridging differences, and how Volunteer New York helps individuals take action. While we may be uniquely positioned in our region to mobilize volunteers, we are not doing this work alone. In 2003, we became an affiliate of the Hands-On Network, the largest network of volunteer connector organizations at the time. Since then, that network has grown, evolved, and merged with Points of Light to become a global force for good. Today, Points of Light spans 120 affiliates across 32 countries. We're proud to not only be an affiliate member, but a leader within this global network. And today, in celebration of our 75th anniversary, we are deeply honored to be joined by the President and CEO of Points of Light, Jennifer Sarangelo. Jennifer is a visionary leader committed to unlocking human potential for the greater good. She believes that everyone has unique gifts to offer, and she's made it her life's work to help people find and live their purpose. She champions volunteerism and works with nonprofit and corporate leaders around the world to build a renewed culture of service and engagement. She holds a master's in public administration from Syracuse University and is a proud Harry S. Truman Scholar. Joining us from Washington, D.C., please join me in giving a warm Lower Hudson Valley welcome to Jennifer Sarangelo.
Well, good morning, everyone, and I'm so happy to be here, and I feel as if you've already had your inspiration. I've been inspired. I want to say to my new ohana to my Hawaiian friends, I feel very much at home here. Having been at Syracuse, I lived in the city, so New York is one of my second homes, so I'm really happy to be here today. And so let me just start with, I want to bring greetings from our board chair at Points of Light, Neil Bush, and the Bush family, to congratulate Volunteer New York on 75 years. That's why I'm here. This is amazing. Not many, I heard in the video, not many organizations survive and thrive that long. And certainly in the volunteering movement, Volunteer New York is a leader among its peers, not only for your longevity, but for the quality of your programs, which you've seen here today, exemplified here today. Just a quick about, Katie mentioned what Points of Light is. We believe, at Points of Light that, like you, we connect people to their meaning and purpose through volunteering and civic engagement. And we are a nonpartisan global organization founded by President George H.W. Bush, and our mission is to inspire, equip, and mobilize people to take positive action that changes the world. So that's why Volunteer New York is an affiliate organization, and as Katie said, is a leader, really, since you joined the Points of Light and Hands-On Network. And many of your executive directors, former, who are in the room, are a reason for that. They have contributed as peer leaders and leaders around in a global network around the world, helping foster more civic engagement around the world. So I want to say thank you for having me here. Thank you to Suzanne, Katie, Dylan, and certainly to Michael and the board for inviting me to be a part of this very amazing celebration. It's also exciting that this is the 45th anniversary of this event. I don't see many events of this size. Truly investing in your community and celebrating the service that makes it what it is. So congratulations on that. I'm also thrilled here to be here with Regeneron, who is your sponsor here today for this event, a big contributor in this community. And also was mentioned that they are a Civic 50 honoree. Where is the team here? Yes, right here. That's great. And a Civic 50 honoree is one of the leading companies in the U.S. It's a very rigorous process. We're making it sound easy, but it is a very rigorous process. It means that Regeneron is really firing on all cylinders. It means not just the people you see here, but throughout the company, throughout the executives, leadership of the organization, and in its policies and practice. So I just want to say thank you for leading the way you do, Regeneron, and not just here in your home county, which is amazing and important, but you also lead in the country. So thank you very much, Regeneron. So putting you in a little context, I don't want to take too much time. I know you all need to get back to the office. But I do just want to put what you do here in a bigger context. I had some remarks prepared about I'm often in a role of championing the importance of volunteering. But after this morning, I realize I don't need to do that in this room. So I'm not going to spend any time talking about all the impacts of volunteering on the people who serve this community and society. But I'm probably going to talk a little more about taking what you do here and putting it in just a little bit of a bigger picture. Because you are a part of something much bigger out there that is different than the feeling we have here in the room. And what you're doing here in fostering volunteering, inclusiveness, everyone belonging, everyone can serve, We believe at Points of Light that what you're doing is truly building our participatory society, our pluralistic democracy, and you are doing the hard work of citizen engagement here. And if I think back to when President Bush founded Points of Light and he talked about those 1,000 points of light scattered like stars, he was talking about organizations just like Volunteer New York, who are truly building that social fabric that can help us bridge the pluralism we live in today. And it was talked about here on the stage a little bit more, but I know that together we can certainly mobilize even more people to be a part of this movement. I left a 25-year career 2 years ago. I left a 25-year career in positive youth development where I worked for 4-H and I worked for Boys and Girls Clubs of America. So I had the fortune of working for two great organizations. But I came to Points of Light because I believed I wanted to make an impact on that ecosystem that our young people are coming into every day. Every year we were graduating kids out of those programs, and I wanted to make sure that they were going into a society that was ready for their optimism, ready for their hope, ready for their potential. And that's what you are doing here. Not only what individual volunteers are getting, what needs you're meeting in the community, these are amazing and important impacts. But you are creating a community that will welcome your future forward. And so I just want to say thank you for that, and I hope inspire you to know that you are not alone. I speak around the country, meet people from around the world who are also building and strengthening our participatory society, our civil society, in the ways you are. So take courage when it feels hard, when it feels like, can we really bridge these divides? Can we really do it? You see it here, you're feeling it here, and there are communities and groups just like you all over the country. So don't let the headlines not take away the truth of what we know about our community and what you see here. So I want to just thank Volunteer New York for your goals and your strategic plan. You are together working with us and all the other affiliate organizations to double the number of people volunteering around the world by 2035. That's our goal. And your bold plan truly will be an important contributor to that national goal and that global goal. And as you build that vital bridge between individuals and their meaningful service opportunities, we know you're going to be making it easier for the young people who will follow behind all of us. We know that 1/3 of the workforce of America's nonprofits, and the nonprofits in your community, are volunteers. That's huge. And you're making it possible for them to achieve their missions. We know that without you, many of the nonprofits in your community would have gaps in service, kids not getting their tutors, elderly citizens not being visited, our animal shelters not attended, many human needs not being met if it weren't for what you're doing here at Volunteer New York. So we know that when you link your passionate people with the local nonprofits, schools, initiatives, you are ensuring that time and talent and passion in your community are really directed where they're needed most. And that service remains a powerful tool for creating community-centered change. And that's the values you bring to your work and that we see every day. So you are a part of something bigger. I'm excited to hear what's happening here in the lower Hudson Valley and to be a part of this so that we can together double the number of people volunteering in our country. Think how different it would be, our country would be, if more people had the empathy we saw displayed on the stage today. How different our country, not would be, I'm going to say will be, because of what we're going to do together. So, as you embark on your next chapter, your legacy of service here at Volunteer New York is stronger than ever. Your new strategic plan and your commitment really continues to ensure that volunteering remains that powerful force here and around the world. At Points of Light, we are very proud to be by your side, cheering you on. And I just want to say thank you for having me here as a part of such an important milestone.
Thank you, Jennifer, and massive thanks to all of our supporters and everyone who was able to join us here this morning. In celebration of our 75th anniversary, we gave you a little bit of bonus programming here this morning, and appreciate you being here with us. We can continue our celebration a little bit longer immediately following the end of our program in the 75th Anniversary Legacy Suite. Whether this was your first Volunteer Spirit Award celebration or your 45th, we hope you'll be back next year. And lastly, I'd like to call up all of our Leadership Westchester alumni. There are over 68 alumni with us here today. Please come up to the stage now for the annual Leadership Westchester group photo. And that's a wrap.
Start spreading the news. You're leaving today. Tell them, Frank.
I want to be a part of it. New York, New York.
Your vagabond shoes, they are longing to stray
And step around the heart of it. New York, New York.
LW people, Leadership Westchester, come up to the stage.
I wanna
Let's
wake
go.
up in that city that doesn't sleep.
and find your king of a hill, top of a heap. Your small town blues, they're melting away.
I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York.
You always make it there. You make it anywhere.
It's up to you, New York, New York. In New York, New York. I wanna wake up in that city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the list.
You bet. King of the hill. These are little town roads.
They have all melted away, and I'm gonna make a brand new start of it right there in old New York.
You better believe it, folks. You always make it there. You make it anywhere.
Come on, come through.
start spreading the news. You're leaving today. Tell him, Frank.
I want to be a part of New York, New York.
Joanna drove slowly into the city. The Hudson River all filled with snow. She spied the ring eyes on her finger. Oh, 1,000 years in one piece of silver. She took it from his lily white hat. Sure no fish, she'd seen the thing in the young man's wings. Don't get a ring. Look outside, the raincoat's gone, say oh. Look outside, the raincoat's gone, say oh. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Designer drove southward, sick and exotica. Down to the Pueblo Hudson, New Mexico. Cut his teeth out, took all his harmonicas. Oh, oh, oh. I saw Joanna down in the subway. She took an apartment in Washington Heights. Half of the ring lies here with me, but the other half's at the bottom of the sea. Look outside, the raincoat's coming, say oh. Look outside, the raincoat's coming, say oh. Look outside, the raincoat's coming, say
Thank you.